GCSE French writing exam. Here are some tips to help you with
full marks on the GCSE French English to French translation. Keep watching till the end to get some more practice for English to French translations for both foundation and higher. For now, translate these sentences, the 3 sentences that are going to show up in the screen. Pause if you need to. Do it aloud, make a note on paper, or write your answers in the comments below. And then I will share my top 4 tips with you. Have a go at the second of 3 sentence translation on the topic of education. Pause now if you need to. Final translation before the answers and the tips. Compare your answers with what you've written down and what you said. Pause for a moment if you need to, and then write down the mistakes that you made so you can improve. Let's dive in a little bit deeper to start giving you some tips on things that they are trying to test you on and trying to trick you on, whether you're doing AQA Edexcel or an equivalent GCSE English to French translation. So the first thing in this one, what do you think the first thing would be? The to celebrate part. They want you to know that to celebrate is not just fêter or célébrer, it's pour, like in order to. If you want to try and say in order to, you can say pour in French. And after it, you need to use the infinitive verb, the er, ir, or re form of the verb. Don't say pour fête or pour célèbre. It has to be pour fêter or pour célébrer. The next one is the tense, and that is across foundation and higher GCSE French English to French translations. Make sure you know your perfect tense well. Don't put je invite or je invité. It has to be j'ai invité. If you're not sure how to form your perfect tense, then go and have a look at the video above. That will help. And sentence 2. What do you think are the main things they're trying to test you or trip you upon here? The first one I would say is l'année prochaine, making sure that you've got the E. Often people forget that E. The next one is perhaps the tense, je ferai, for the future tense. And as well the prepositions, things like à and dans. If you got those wrong, please do make a note and learn those. And if you're not sure about how to form the future tense, then check out the video above. And the final sentence that I've given you already, stay tuned for some more sentences and more paragraphs to practice. But in here, what do you think are the main things that they're trying to test you on? I would say the same, l'été prochain, making sure that you've got prochain and not prochaine, because l'été is masculine. Thinking about the conditional tense or conditional, the j'aimerais or je voudrais, hopefully you'll be fine with that one, but making sure you've got the infinitive after it, so the er, ir, re form, like aller, visiter. Also the preposition like en España as opposed to l'Espagne if you've got visiter, depending on which verb you've used. And then thinking about maybe singular and plurals. That's something they're trying to test you on. Have you got the me? Have you got the s on the noun? You're here because you want tips to get you full marks in the GCSE English to French translation, and that's what I'm going to help you out with. Now, a bit further. When you are presented with a translation, don't just start translating it immediately. I recommend that you spend some time going through these things so you know what they are trying to trick you on, what they're trying to get out of you for full marks. Okay, the first one is to underline all the people and the verbs and then annotate the tense. If that's something you're struggling with, keep watching and I'll help you out a little bit more with that. Second one is to identify the traps. We've already started to identify a few of the traps that you need to consider. I'm going to show you some more shortly. You can't get away from building your vocabulary. If you don't know the words, if you don't know any vocabulary, you are not going to do very well and you're not going to attract full marks. So you can build your vocabulary using Quizlet, Anki. There is a list of vocabulary in the specification. It's a long one, but you could do something with that. Again, on Quizlet or Anki, you can make your own flashcards or use the look, cover, write, say, check method. But keep building your vocab. And the fourth one, and this is more for higher tier students, find false friends. So words that have similar meaning, similar spelling in French and English, but have a different translation. If you want a list of false friends or some activities, check out the video above. That's quite useful. You cannot get away from tenses, time frames in your translations. So if you don't feel confident with the tenses or your time frames, you will struggle. Do you know your past tense? Do you know your present tense? Do you know your conditional? And if you're higher, do you know your imperfect and pluperfect? That's what we're going to find out. All right, a little tense quiz on the popular verb, aller, to go. Do you know if your foundation and higher, the present perfect and the near future tense? If not, you need to know it. And if you're higher, do you know how to translate the verb aller into all these forms? To help you out, if you're not familiar with the names, I've put the translations. Grab yourself some paper and have a go now. Pause. You'll need a bit of time. And here you've got the answers. How did you get on? Did you get them all right? Excellent. That's going to help you. If you didn't, and there's a particular tense that stumps you, that you struggle with, it's possible that it might come up in a translation. So if you want to get your full marks, you need to revise it. There are some videos in the playlist above to help you with your tenses. Go check that out and see if it helps. If I've missed a tense off, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to help. Let's do a little bit of practice. Here I've got some foundation sentences and a higher paragraph. Depending on the exam board that you do, there will be paragraphs, there will be sentences. Foundation, this will definitely help you, and higher, this will definitely help you as well. Pause the screen and have a go now at underlining all of the people and the verbs, and then make a note of the tenses. Pause now and have a go. As you can see, every single sentence has a person and a verb and a tense. And if you don't know your people, your verbs and your tenses for the English to French translations, you really are going to lose a lot of marks. So once you finish watching this video, pick out the verbs, the tenses that you don't feel confident with and go and revise them. Again, playlist above if you need it. The traps, we've already spoken about some, for example, the pour, the prepositions, and there are heaps more that are going to come up. In the translations that you've just looked at, go through those and see what it is. What are they trying to trip you up on? What traps are they trying to include? And do the same thing. Underline those or highlight them. And we'll pause and we'll discuss quite a few things here to trick you. Have you got all of them? Things that we've already mentioned are things like prepositions, like the in and the on, and the gender for the noun so that you can get next correctly. The word order, we haven't mentioned word order, but like in an enormous hotel, would you know where that goes in the sentence? Do you know the vocab? How about the word for every or while? And for higher, do you know the partitive article to mean some? How would that work? Because that'll help you get full marks in the GCSE French English to French translations. And are you clear on the vocab for a part-time job and the word order for that? If not, you need to go away and learn it. Answers are on the next page, but make sure to stay tuned so that we can talk about false friends, that you can know, make a list of the traps, and also get a bonus at the end to help you with more translation practice. Answers are on the next page, but make sure to stay tuned so that we can talk about false friends, that you can know, make a list of the traps, and also get a bonus at the end to help you with more translation practice. So here's a list of more traps in addition to the ones that we've already found. Some of them are really kind of easy. Some of them you need to think about, and things like number 4 with your mismatched time phrases with the tenses, that's definitely one to check. So make sure if you have a time phrase, are you using the right tense with it? Things like number 5 with the partitive articles, with manger and with boire. If you have like a food, some type of food, and you want to say some, like I drink, well, we wouldn't say I drink some milk in English, but they do in French. You'd have to say je bois du lait or je mange du chocolat. So make sure that you've got that du, de la, des, depending on if it's masculine, feminine, or plural. Don't forget your articles. That's like the le, la, les, un, une, des. Don't forget those. And double check your spelling. It happens quite often. Things like aujourd'hui. If you're trying to say la natation, some of the letters get missed off. And don't miss out accents. It's easy to do, but they will lose your marks. Take a minute, read the rest of these, and then move on to the next page. Other things that I've seen really often are students losing 2 or 3 marks because they've missed out small words. So check those little words so that you don't miss them off. Any little word, like, you know, quite, a lot, you know, beaucoup, assez, souvent. Keep an eye out for those. Make sure you've translated them. Don't miss out the second part of the negative, because you need generally 2 parts to make negatives in French. Make sure you understand, for definitely for higher, how you would use depuis. Hopefully these examples are enough, but let me know if not. And then also think about idiomatic phrasing. So in English we say I am X years old, but in French they say I have X years. And if they say, you know, I will be 20 next year or 17 next year, make sure that you use the will be with the age with the verb avoir in the future tense. So I've spoken to you about number 3 already, building vocabulary, ways that you can do that. Now we're on to false friends, number 4. Check out the video above to have some activities and practice, especially if you're a higher tier student, and that'll help you to avoid those mistakes relating to false friends. I promised a little bonus if you watch till the end of the video, and I have a free download at my website, Untitled, that you can download to practice your translations, English to French for GCSEs. There is a foundation page and a higher page, and there is also a worksheet that you can do if you want to rewatch the video.